Hello, my darling Cancers. It's time for your weekly reading, June 14th to the 21st, 2021. Now, I must admit, I did not do my weekly readings for the past couple weeks, and I have to apologize for this because I had vast plans of doing some pick-a-deck readings and some love readings and all kinds of fabulous stuff, and I never did get around to it, even though I didn't do my weeklies, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to, but I got some feedback. People said they wanted them. So here I am, and I will not neglect you in the future unless I absolutely have to. So I hope to keep up with my weekly readings in the future. Now, this week I'm going to do a very quick, simple 6-card reading for you, which is about you moving into the future. So I need your help, as I often do in readings. You know what your future is. You know, well, you might not know what your future is, but you know what dreams and hopes and aspirations you have, what careers you want to undertake, what your family plans are. Now, these things take shape over time. They will change, they will evolve, but you have an idea. So as I go through these 6 cards, you can see how those cards apply to you. And even though this is about going into the future, obviously some past things and some present things will carry over with you. So let's take a peek and see what we've got. I like the start of that. Yes, nice. A little bit of mystery. I know this card looks like the most mournful card that ever was, but it does not necessarily mean that. Okay, so let us look. Are you the King of Cups? Because this is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So the King of Cups could be you, Cancer. A water sign, a very strong person, somebody who really is emotionally in touch with himself and people. Being a passionate person who's also very intuitive, this guy is really good with emotions and dealing with speaking of feelings, you know, not typically a male trait in general, and when I say a male trait, I mean a very positive, masculine male who can also talk about feelings. I am talking about this in a traditional sense. We all have male and female. The tarot cards have always taken into account that we all have male and female in us, and some of us lean one way or the other more. I would say that most of my even though I'm a heterosexual female, I would definitely identify with male cards as much as I identify with female cards, because I think most of my attitudes tend to be more quote-unquote traditionally male. So you can, when I'm giving a reading, you can take that as you will. You know, you can look at a card. There is some interchange. It depends on how you are, because we all have different behaviors and different thoughts and feelings. But there are lots of traits that we've traditionally considered belonging to being more female, and they generally are. Even now when people are, you know, saying everything's malleable, there are certain things that we consider typically female and other things that we consider typically male. It doesn't mean that me as a female can't do everything I want to do. I absolutely can, but I have certain traits that are typically female and certain traits that are typically male. Now, I'm sure I'll probably get some hate mail about this, but nothing has changed in tarot cards. They've been around since, I believe, the 1400s, and this attitude and concept has always been there. So I'm not changing it. So you can hate me or love me as you will. So let's start with this card, because it looks so sad, and it's really not the worst card ever, depending on what's happened, of course. And I don't think it's anything to be wearing a black cloak over and, you know, practically slitting your wrist like this guy wants to. So there have been some things you've been passionate about that haven't worked out. Maybe lost loves, maybe missed opportunities, something of that nature. But this guy needs to whip off that damn cloak and turn around and see these 2 lovely cups that are standing behind, that are strong and powerful and sitting right there needing attention and time and love. So recognize what you've actually got and don't worry about what you don't have or what happened in the past. You're moving into the future. You're catapulting into the future. You're going to have a great life. And I see this Knight of Swords, and I know that you are strongly determined. You have something on the go here. You are looking to find out the truth about things. You're looking to gain all the knowledge you need. You are flying into the future at a furious rate. Now, if this is you, the King of Cups, you are, like I said, emotionally secure and intuitive and a good conversationalist and probably rather charming. You are always trying to get to the personal root of things. You're very good with people, interpersonal relationships, a certain amount of banter. Like I say, you tend to be charming. Artistic. You might have an artistic bent and you might be pursuing something in the arts. If not as a career, you probably do something in life that's rather artistic in some manner of speaking or another. The Moon. The Moon is a mysterious card. It can be about dreams and nightmares. It can be about confusion. Something is not clear to you. And maybe this is what the determination is about. You're trying to cut through all this nonsense and figure out what's what. Because we have to do that in life. Life is evaluation. I mean, it's a game of evaluation. We're trying to figure out what's what. And often things are not as they appear. So if there's some confusion or cloudiness or something of that nature, figure out what's going on. And if it is about dreams and nightmares and the subconscious, which the Moon also relates to, that's okay. But listen to, we don't want to be those people who are so confined to every dream interpretation we look as being absolute truth. But at the same time, your subconscious tries to tell you things. And if you listen to it, you will see that it is often more logical than you might think. Now, in dreams, things can be muddled. The truth can be mixed with nonsense. And that's one of the reasons the Moon can be mysterious, being that it relates to dreams and those sorts of things. So just think about it and see if you can get to the bottom of it. A lot of people forget their dreams the second they've dreamed them. So if you roll out of bed and you have a little journal by your bed and you write down what you dreamt and then the next day you think about it, you might find some very, very interesting answers that have come from your subconscious and the wisdom within you to tell you something. This card is all about carrying something with you. Now, you're moving into the future. You're in action. We don't have to worry that you're sitting around doing nothing. You are. You're going on a journey, either figurative or literal. But whatever it is, we have to be a little bit concerned because you've got these swords in the boat with you. These are thoughts that I'm going to assume are negative thoughts. I mean, something like baggage, something like things you're concerned about, worried, things from the past that you're taking with you into the future. So think about if there's a way that that could be minimized. Maybe that's why these dreams are coming up. Think about it. The King of Cups, if it's you, latch on to the fact that this is all coming in and you need to figure it out. If it's not you, perhaps you have somebody else who's a water sign in your inner realm. Maybe you could have a little chat with them about some of this if it's somebody you're really close to. Maybe it's your dad. Maybe it's your uncle. Maybe it's your closest friend. And see what we can do about this. There are all kinds of ways you can kind of figure things out. I mean, we have this subconscious and we have all kinds of things in our brain that can be really problematic sometimes. Sometimes they're not that problematic, but there's still that little thing in your head that's causing you pain and worry. So we want to eliminate that whenever we can. Now, I'm going to say the overall reading of this is your King of Wands. You are in action now and you're moving into the forward with very, very, very strong action. The King of Wands is an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. Very fiery, very social. He runs a great kingdom, home, business, whatever he runs. He does it with great forward action. He's physical. He takes part. He's not one to stick his head in the sand. And, he's a great guy to know. So make friends with this person, or at least be on the same wavelength. If it's your boss and maybe he's so different from you, but still, he's got something to offer here for you. whatever it may be. But it's positive. And if it's not a person, maybe it's just the King of Wands is showing up to help you put whatever you want to be put into action. There's always so much to do and so many directions to go in. Now, there are no pentacles here, so we're not concerning ourselves with that right now. What we are concerning ourselves with is getting to the truth of matters, all of them, clearing up any confusion. And you've got two kings here, and kings are kind of at the top of their game. Putting things into action and something you're passionate about, or things that you're passionate about. Two very positive aspects of life. So concentrate on that this week. Have a beautiful week. Have a wonderful week. Dive into life. And I hope to talk to you next week. See you soon.